Hey, good afternoon, y'all. So I learned something new today, and I kind of already posted something about it. But there was a dream that I had a little while back, and it was about a house being broken into. And the Lord showed me something so profound and amazing about this dream. So in the dream, and I don't know if any of you have saw my dreams, but what he keeps showing me a little bit more. So whenever I get a dream, and I dream a lot, and I've been getting a lot of dreams, I write them down or record them. And then what I do is I pray on them. And little by little by little, the Lord reveals things to me. So let me get started with the dream. So going back, in my dream, I was sitting at a kitchen table and all of a sudden I heard a noise and I had a giant house, and this dream went on for a little while. And in this giant house, the kitchen was at the very back, and I was on the computer charting, and I heard a noise, and I came walking out, and I walked down the hall, and these doors opened, and I saw a shadow go across the thing, but I heard somebody upstairs in my upstairs running around. And so I went, and I was afraid to go up the stairs to see who was up there. But what I did do is I opened the front door, and I seen these two old people. It was a man and a woman, and they happened to be walking past my front door, and one of them had luggage with them. But I pulled them inside, and I can still see the dream right now as I'm telling it. I can still see the whole dream. And I pull them inside, and the man was bald, and he had hair around here. And when he came in, I needed them for protection. And I saw all of a sudden, I look, and coming down the stairs is a man and a woman. The man has a wife beater on, and he looks like he's from the 70s. He's got a mustache. He's got a long, like a mullet. And then there's a female, and the female that's coming down the stairs, she looks, has a high skirt on, has her hair all high and done up, and like she's chewing bubble gum with these big earrings. And they come running down the stairs, and they run out the door. So I thought, okay, they're gone. Well, they left 3 little kids upstairs. Later in the dream, they took off, and I was like, what the heck's going on? They came back with 2 teenagers, a boy and a girl. And the 2 teenagers, I'm making a long dream short. So all together, there were 7 people in my house. The older man and woman got up and left. They just walked out the front door. I don't know what that was about. They left. And they seemed like they were older. So maybe they were generational curses. So what I figured out, what God has finally shown me, and in the last part of the dream, I ran upstairs and got my gun, my pew-pew, and I kept trying to take out this guy. And they were just sitting there laughing. I was pointing at him, shooting him. Nothing was happening. I was like, why is nothing happening? And finally I ran upstairs and thought, well, maybe it doesn't have any bullets in it. And I went into the bathroom, and when I got in there, I'm loading it, and I turn around, and they're trying to unlock the door to the bathroom to get in. And I couldn't. I kept pulling the trigger. I was going to shoot him through the door. And all of a sudden, the Holy Spirit whispers to me, your safety's on. That's why I could not kill the man. What the Lord has shown me since looking at and understanding, as I was showing you guys just in my last video, these are disembodied spirits. God gave me a way to understand all 7 of these are disembodied spirits. They all are persons without bodies. They're personalities. And here now they have bodies. They come with bodies. And each one plays a role. So there's different layers and levels of spiritual warfare. So Ephesians 6:12 says, for we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, the authorities, and the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Or others say principalities and powers of darkness and rulers and authorities. So these are all different layers and levels of spiritual warfare and what you are fighting. The 3 little children that were left were 3 little guys. They were little lower levels. They might have been powers of darkness. They could have been strife, jealousy, and envy. I don't know. They could have been those. And then you go to, who are the principalities? Principalities are big. They usually take over nations. Principalities of darkness were the husband and wife, but they left and went and picked up 2 more, which could have been a ruler and an authority that were over mine. And the 2 older people, they were generational. They were generational curses that had done their time and they left on their own. Their time was up. They were done. They left on their own, but they were invited in. How were they invited in? They were invited in by my sin of my generations. So they were invited in by generational sins, but when their time was up, they left on their own. Or they were easily casted out, told to leave. The little ones are, like I said, they could be powers of darkness, small ones. Then you have your next layer and level. Then principalities may be Leviathan. Leviathan is a principality. It overtakes nations. Another one could be, let me see, hold on. So what I'm thinking, I've looked and I can't find anything, but principalities would be a Leviathan spirit. Another spirit that sexual perversion, the transgender movement, along with abortion movement. These are principalities that take over large areas. Sexual perversion is a huge principality. Those would probably include lust and those things. I think of suicide. They come to kill, steal, and destroy. Whatever they can do to try and destroy you. The middle of the ground ones are rulers and authorities. So I'm so excited to know this, but understand these are spiritual battles that we are fighting. Each and every single one of us is battling these spiritual battles, and we need to step up and take it to a higher level. Take it to the Lord. Get on your knees, fast and pray. Some different spirits only come out by fasting and praying. Especially, I know that the dumb and deaf spirit is one of them that's listed, that when the disciples asked, it only comes out by fasting and praying. So it could be that would be. Most principalities are over a territory of a nation, and it's common. That's where sometimes I went to high school where we would call my high school Suicide High. It seemed to be there was a lot of suicide in that high school. So that would be a principality that was taken over by that. How do we combat that? We combat it with prayer. But I find that it was odd that in this dream, my safety was off. I allowed these spirits to come in because I thought that I would not be held accountable for my sins, obviously. Because some of them, they might have been there since I was a younger in youth. Before I became super saved or what have you. You never know. You never know when they entered. But if your door is open and you don't have your door locked and you're not living a righteous life and you're not looking to God and you're not attempting to do the best and the Holy Spirit isn't guarding your house, isn't with you guarding your house, then the door is open. And if you're just allowing them to come in and sup with you and eat out of your cupboards and do whatever they want, wreak havoc, cause disease and sickness, cause you to think bad thoughts about yourself or talk negative to yourself. If you're allowing all of these entities to come into your home, like I had 7, a whole family was living up in here. God was showing that to me. How does God tell you what's going on in your life? For me, there was a spirit of strife that had entered into my home. He took me, I flipped open my Bible and I found Proverbs 17, where he told me there was a spirit of strife in my house. Another thing is he plays songs to me and I'm like, I don't listen to that music. Where'd that song come from? I looked at the lyrics and I'm like, oh, there must be a spirit of lust attached to me somewhere. So this is how. Ask him to show you how to get those intruders out of your house and who it is that you need to be praying for and how to find out. How does God talk to you? It's time to get busy and do the work. Time is short. Get your house in order. Bye-bye.